Did you know that type 2 diabetes is silently damaging your organs right now while you're watching this video? It's not just high sugar. Today, I'll show you how this disease affects your heart, your eyes, and even your nerves. And the worst part is, many people don't even know it. Every 10 seconds, someone dies from diabetes complications. And most seriously, 50% of those affected are unaware they can reverse it with natural changes. But first, you must understand how it attacks you. In this video, you'll discover why your body resists insulin, the symptoms that no one explains and that appear too late, and how to restore your insulin sensitivity, starting today. Don't let diabetes win this battle. Stick around until the end, and I'll tell you exactly where to begin. Type 2 diabetes is a chronic disease that affects how your body processes blood sugar, known as glucose. It's one of the most common metabolic conditions in the world, and its incidence has been increasing due to factors like lifestyle and diet. Unlike type 1 diabetes, where the immune system attacks the pancreas cells and stops insulin production, with type 2 diabetes, the body still produces insulin, but the cells don't respond properly to its action. This is known as insulin resistance. When insulin can't do its job correctly, glucose builds up in the blood instead of entering the cells to be used for energy. Over time, this can lead to serious health problems if left uncontrolled. In this video, we will explore in detail what happens in the body when type 2 diabetes develops, the symptoms you should watch out for, and how you can manage this condition effectively. Every time we eat foods that contain carbohydrates, our body breaks them down into smaller sugar molecules called glucose. This glucose is the main source of energy for our cells and is transported through the bloodstream to be used throughout the body. The process begins in the small intestine, where enzymes break down food carbohydrates into glucose. The glucose is then absorbed by the intestinal cells and enters the bloodstream. As the blood circulates, it carries the glucose to different organs and tissues for the cells to use as energy. When blood glucose levels rise after a meal, the pancreas detects this increase and releases a key hormone, insulin. Insulin acts as a key that allows glucose to enter the cells. Without insulin, glucose cannot enter and accumulates in the bloodstream, which can lead to health problems. In a healthy body, insulin helps regulate blood glucose levels, ensuring that cells get the energy they need to function correctly. However, in people with type 2 diabetes, this process doesn't happen efficiently, leading to high blood glucose levels and potential complications. In the next section, we'll see what happens in the body when type 2 diabetes develops and how it affects the ability to process glucose. In people with type 2 diabetes, the glucose regulation process doesn't work correctly. This happens for two main reasons. The pancreas doesn't produce enough insulin, or the body cells become resistant to its effects. In many cases, both conditions are present at the same time. When there's insulin resistance, the cells don't respond properly to this hormone. This means glucose can't enter them to be used for energy. It's as if the key, insulin, no longer fits well in the lock, the insulin receptors on the cells. As a result, glucose builds up in the blood instead of being used by the body's cells. To compensate for this problem, the pancreas starts producing more insulin in the hope of lowering blood glucose levels. However, over time, the beta cells in the pancreas get exhausted and lose the ability to generate enough insulin, which further worsens the situation. The result is a condition called hyperglycemia, where blood glucose levels remain consistently high. If not managed properly, hyperglycemia can cause damage to different organs and lead to serious complications. In the next section, we'll talk about the most common symptoms of type 2 diabetes and how to identify them early. Type 2 diabetes can develop gradually, so many people can have it for years without realizing it. However, there are some key symptoms that may indicate the presence of the disease. The most common symptoms include excessive thirst and dry mouth. Due to high blood glucose levels, the body needs more fluids to flush out the excess sugar through urine. Increased urination frequency. In an attempt to eliminate the accumulated glucose, the kidneys work harder and produce more urine, causing a person to go to the bathroom more often, even at night. Extreme tiredness. Since cells aren't getting the glucose they need for energy, it's common to feel fatigue and a lack of energy. Excessive hunger. Since glucose isn't properly entering the cells, the body keeps sending hunger signals in an attempt to get more energy. Blurred vision. High glucose levels can affect the blood vessels in the eyes, causing vision problems. Tingling or numbness in hands and feet. This happens due to nerve damage caused by hyperglycemia, which can lead to a tingling sensation or loss of feeling in the extremities. In some cases, people with type 2 diabetes may develop recurring infections, such as skin, gum, or urinary tract infections, as high glucose levels can weaken the immune system. If you experience one or more of these symptoms, it's important to see a doctor for a blood glucose test and an early diagnosis. In the next section, we'll talk about the complications that can arise if type 2 diabetes isn't managed properly. If type 2 diabetes is not managed correctly, high blood glucose levels can damage different organs and systems in the body. These complications can develop over time and seriously affect the quality of life. Some of the most common complications include cardiovascular problems. Diabetes increases the risk of high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes due to the damage it causes to blood vessels and the heart. Diabetic neuropathy. High sugar levels can damage nerves, causing a loss of feeling, pain, tingling, or numbness, especially in the feet and hands. Kidney damage. Diabetic nephropathy. The kidneys filter blood to remove waste, but excess glucose can damage them over time, which can lead to kidney failure. Vision problems. Diabetes can affect the blood vessels in the eyes, which can cause blurred vision, cataracts, glaucoma, and even blindness in advanced cases. Poor wound healing and frequent infections. Diabetes can affect blood flow and the immune system's response, making it difficult for wounds to heal and increasing the risk of serious infections. Other serious complications include diabetic ketoacidosis and hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state, both of which are potentially fatal if not treated in time. Managing diabetes is essential to prevent these complications and lead a healthy life. In the next section, we'll talk about risk factors and how you can prevent the development of type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes doesn't appear overnight. Its development is influenced by various risk factors. Some of these factors can't be changed, while others depend on our habits and lifestyle. The main risk factors include genetics and family history. If you have close relatives with type 2 diabetes, your risk of developing it is higher. Age. Although it can appear at any age, the risk increases after age 45. Overweight and obesity. Excess body fat, especially in the abdominal area, increases insulin resistance. A sedentary lifestyle. A lack of physical activity reduces the body's ability to use glucose efficiently. Unhealthy diet. Eating foods rich in sugars, refined carbohydrates, and saturated fats raises the risk of diabetes. Metabolic syndrome. Conditions like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and insulin resistance can increase the likelihood of developing diabetes. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to help prevent or delay the onset of type 2 diabetes. Adopt a balanced diet. Eat more fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains while avoiding excessive sugars and ultra-processed foods. Maintain a healthy weight. Losing even a small percentage of weight can make a big difference in diabetes prevention. Exercise regularly. Engaging in at least 30 minutes of physical activity a day, such as walking, swimming, or playing a sport, helps improve insulin sensitivity. Manage stress. Chronic stress can raise blood glucose levels, so it's important to find ways to manage it, such as meditation or exercise. Get enough sleep. Lack of sleep can affect metabolism and increase the risk of insulin resistance. Taking these steps not only reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, but also improves your overall health. In the next section, we'll see how you can effectively manage diabetes if you have already been diagnosed. If you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, it's crucial to take action to keep your blood glucose levels under control. Good management of the disease can help you avoid complications and improve your quality of life. The main strategies for managing diabetes include blood glucose monitoring. Use a glucometer to regularly measure your blood sugar levels and make adjustments to your diet, physical activity, or medication as needed. Healthy eating. Follow a balanced diet based on whole foods with an appropriate combination of carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats. It's important to avoid refined sugars and opt for slow-absorbing carbohydrates like whole grains and legumes. Regular exercise. Physical activity helps improve insulin sensitivity and reduce blood glucose levels. Activities like walking, running, swimming, or practicing yoga can be very beneficial. Medication use. In some cases, oral medications or insulin injections may be required to keep glucose at appropriate levels. It's important to follow your doctor's instructions and not stop treatment without consulting them. Stress management and good rest. Stress and lack of sleep can affect blood glucose regulation, so it's key to find ways to relax and maintain a proper sleep routine. Controlling diabetes requires consistency and commitment, but with the right habits, it's possible to live a full and healthy life. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a comment telling us about your experience with type 2 diabetes, or if you have any questions. We love reading and responding to you. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive more useful information about diabetes and health in general. See you in the next video. Take care.